Hotel Echo Lima Lima Oscar. Good evening from London, England, from your host, your guy himself, DLG Repping, otherwise short for Dele London Gooner Space. Romeo Echo Papa Papa Indigo November. I do apologise for no stream for this afternoon. I had something in the pipeline, but just a wee little too late. Otherwise, allow me to say good morning to you guys, whether you are enjoying your breakfast, you're on your way to work, or is it good afternoon where you're picking up the kids, you're driving to a meeting, or do I say good night and rest well? Hope all has been good, and I hope your day has been blessed. Other than that, I'm going to be getting into this content. A headline from Sunday, and that's Jurgen Klopp has been charged by the FA for his red card against Manchester City. And then I'm going to be bringing you the gossip column, all from the BBC London Interactive. Before I start all of that, yeah, make sure you smash the thumbs up like button for me, yeah? Let's do that in abundance, as fluently as possible. Make sure you share this channel virally amongst your friends and your relatives. Share this. Let me rephrase that again. Make sure you share this channel virally virally all over the globe amongst your friends and your relatives. And you're watching DLG for the first time, meaning what? Welcome on board. Smash the share button for me. Oh, I need some water. Oh, I think I do need, pardon me, hiccups. Yeah, make sure you smash the share button for me. Left, right, and centre. Passionately for me, yeah? And share it amongst your friends and relatives. And do share it amongst, tell them to share it amongst their friends and relatives. I can't even get my words out. On top of that, yeah, do me a favour and make sure you drop an opinion, your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp being charged. Give us your views. Leave it in the chat, yeah? And as I've said many a times, the comment section is for positive feedback only. So make sure you leave it in the comment section below. On top of that, yeah, do me a favour. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Smash that button for me, left, right, and centre, gloriously but passionately. The aim is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, beginning of the new year. So smash the subscribe button for me, gloriously but passionately. And remember, when you subscribe, I'll shout you out, yeah, with love and affection, yeah? So from the chest, get subscribing. So without further ado, as it's written in yellow as the head title, Klopp charged by the FA after the red card against Manchester City. That makes sense, some of these titles. What the heck? Anyway, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has been charged by the Football Association following his sending off during his side's 1-0 win against Manchester City. Well, there was a nasty foul made by a Man City player on Mo Salah. I can't remember who it was. The referee allowed it to go. Jurgen Klopp's part was extremely, let's just say, petulant and disgraceful. He should never have been screaming at the linesman's ear in the first place. Hence the reason why he got his red card. Liverpool fans, Man City fans, football fans from a neutral point of view. If you've got a view, if you've got your own opinion, leave it in the chat. But I'm going to read on. Klopp was dismissed after berating a referee's assistant when a foul was not given for a challenge on Mohamed Salah. The incident came on a weekend where Merseyside Youth League games were postponed amid ongoing issues with referee abuse. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. Jurgen Klopp has committed exactly that sin, where referees have been abused on grassroots levels, such as games in Merseyside. Klopp apologised for his reaction in his post-match comments. Well, it's all forgotten then if he's apologised. They move on. everybody else can move on. Hopefully, Jurgen Klopp will learn from this and not put himself in a situation where he's getting a red card. He has been charged by the FA. We don't know if it's a fine or if he's banned from the touchline for 1 or 2 games, but he has been dealt with, and that puts the matter to bed. Otherwise, let's get into the transfer gossip. According to the Telegraph here, Aston Villa are interested in former Tottenham and Paris Saint-Germain manager Mauricio Pochettino as a possible replacement for Steven Gerrard. That tells me Mr. Gerrard is under immense pressure. I mean, if these gossips are coming to our TV screens and I'm reading about it, yeah, it must indicate that he might be 2 or 3 wins or 2 or 3 winless games away from getting a sack. I mean, his decision to strip Tyrone Mings of the captaincy, that was his decision. And we don't know if it's had an effect in the dressing room, but we just don't know the ins and outs. However, Villa have not had the best of starts, if the truth be told. Chelsea Potter Graham Potter is keen on reuniting with Brighton forward Leandro Trossard at Stamford Bridge, while the Seagulls' former sporting director Dan Ashworth also wants to bring the Belgium international to Newcastle. That's an interesting one coming from the 90 minutes. Where would he likely to be going? It's only a matter of time until that gets sorted out in the summer. I don't see a transfer happening in January. I think he'll be a Brighton player until the end of the season. That's for definite. France midfielder N'Golo Kante has not yet reached an agreement yet with Chelsea to sign a new contract, and there is a feeling the 31-year-old could leave as a free agent next summer. This is coming out of Fabrizio Romano, and I think every time he speaks, his stories are normally pinpoint accurate. Atletico Madrid insists that Portugal forward João Felix, a Manchester United target, is not for sale, but the 22-year-old's agent, Jorge Mendes, is exploring options for 2023. Here we go, podcast. Never heard of them. Right, I'm going to read a bit more. Diego Simeone, Atletico's boss, says he should not consider signing Portuguese forward Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United in January because of the 37-year-old's past link with Real Madrid. Tigo Sports. Now, I can understand the rivalry between Atletico and Real Madrid, and I can understand why he wouldn't want to involve him in the Atletico Madrid dressing room. You know, such as Ronaldo's persona and his ego. The agent of Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, who has been linked with Manchester United and Arsenal, says the 23-year-old Nigeria international has no intention of leaving the Serie A club. I don't know if I can read too much into that. The player hasn't come out and publicly stated whether he's happy with Napoli or he fancies a challenge elsewhere, preferably the Premier League. Telegraph here says Wolves have interviewed former Lyon, Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Dortmund boss Peter Bosz as a candidate for the managerial vacancy. Well, Wolves will be looking at new management, and I think they want that situation sorted sooner rather than later. Anyway, coming from the Express, Chelsea's pursuit of Portugal forward Rafael Leao has suffered a blow after AC Milan director Daniel Massaro said they would meet the 23-year-old's father at the Ballon d'Or ceremony on Monday in order to discuss a new contract. Well, Daniel Massaro, AC Milan director, and what a top class striker he was in his heyday. He played in, for me, the best AC Milan football teams I've ever seen in my life, and was on the losing side against Ajax in the 1995 Champions League final. Patrick Kluivert with that dancing movement to score his goal. Anyway, Brazil forward Neymar is likely to miss Paris Saint-Germain's Ligue 1 game with Ajazo Ajezu, excuse my pronunciation, on Friday because he is scheduled to testify in court to defend his case over his 2013 transfer from Santos to Barcelona. Now, I think there is some stories linking this transfer from Santos to Barcelona, and there was tense investigation. So I would assume the authorities have reopened this investigation, or they've kept to this investigation. And yes, it's going to take investigations can take months, maybe years, and the authorities have obviously now come to the bottom of it. And Neymar, if he is to go to court, according to what I've been reading, then he's got some answers to questions here. Was it just him? What about his agent? What about his agent at the time or his agent now? Who knows? Brentford have opened talks with manager Thomas Frank over a new deal just 9 months after he signed his current contract. And I'm going to read one more here, and that's former Manchester United and England midfielder Michael Carrick has held further talks with Middlesbrough and looks set to be appointed as Chris Wilder's replacement, marking his first full-time step into management. Well, all the best to him. I mean, I've always been a believer of starting at the lower leagues, but if he feels that this job is right for him, then I wish him all the best. It ain't. I don't think you can just step into a second tier team and see if you can get promotion and be a success from there. It just doesn't work. Another quality player in his heyday. Juventus are prepared to sell 24-year-old United States midfielder Weston McKennie, who is being liked by Tottenham. Calcium Makoto here. Well, I've heard a lot about this guy, and he is highly thought of. I'm going to read one more from Calcium Makoto. Atletico Madrid could be prepared to sell Argentina midfielder Rodrigo Del Paul, with Juventus monitoring the 28-year-old situation. Well, it's a new story for me. Rodrigo Del Paul is a player that I've spoken about, but I can't say I've seen much of him as in terms of his ability and what he offers and what his main jobs are. Other than that, I'm going to leave it here and say, ladies to the gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, it's always a pleasure to say thank you for listening, thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, saving the best to last as I always do. Thank you so much for putting up with me once again. I'll be here again tomorrow for definite, hopefully in the afternoon. Oh, I will be here in the afternoon. That's a must. I'm doing my preview for Arsenal v PSV Eindhoven. Do catch it later on in this afternoon, later on tomorrow afternoon, 4:45 p.m. kickoff. That's on this channel. Until then, look after your friends, look after your families, and do look after yourself, which is always important. Peace again, love again, and bless again. Did I say love a blend? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know what you have to do. Just do all of that for me, yeah? And remember, DLG Repping is always here to talk to you lot again. Just remember, always be nice.